Hi everyone, I'd like to start off by saying thank you for checking out this video in which we'll be going over a modification to the Galaxy's Edge Rey Skywalker lightsaber display box. While the box itself is quite robust and does a great job of making sure that the hilt stays protected, the project team felt that we could, with some modifications, provide a more interactive experience with the box, drawing people in to check out the hilt. We set off to incorporate LED lights, sound, and automatic lid operation, which you can see our original project concept here. This project would be utilizing an Arduino Mega 2560 to handle these functions. To start, power would need to be delivered to the box in both 5 and 12 volt supplies. Holes were drilled into the box and power ports were installed. Interior LED housings were built and tested, as you can see here, and additional LED strips were mounted to the underside of the box to produce an underglow effect. Since the Arduino Mega operates at 5 volts, but the LEDs need 12 volts to function properly, relays were installed. A stepper motor was used to open and close the lid, and a lever arm as well as a slotted plate were built to transmit power to the lid from the motor. We wanted to have the interior lights turn on and off based on whether the hilt was in the box or not. To accomplish this, a force-sensitive resistor was used and a housing with a pylon which would interface with the underside of the hilt was constructed. To sense when a person was near the box, which would trigger the lights and lid opening, an ultrasonic sensor was mounted through the front face and finished with this 3D printed plate. This is a shot of what we had once the sensors and effects were all installed. At the start of the project, we were very optimistic about the amount of space that we had to work with, but as you can see, we quickly began to run out, especially once we mounted the Arduino inside. Here the Arduino has an Adafruit Music Maker MP3 shield mounted to it. At this point, we had a bunch of electronics in a box, but no place to put the hilt. A top plate was cut to size and a hole for the hilt was added. The original box had a similar plate made of vacuum formed plastic, which we cut apart and used to cradle the hilt in the new plate. Speakers were added so that MP3 shield we saw a moment ago could play music while the box was open. Slots were cut in the plate to allow for the ultrasonic distance sensor and the lever arm to function, and L brackets were installed in the box to provide a solid anchor for the plate to rest on. Finally, a piece of cloth was cut and fitted to the plate to provide a nice finished look. Remember that stepper motor we talked about before? Well, when we had the box all built and began testing, it was immediately apparent that the motor did not like operating at the slow speed we wanted. So a 20-to-1 gearbox was added, which smoothed things out quite nicely. In the end, here's what we came up with, and here's a clip of this thing in operation. Thanks again for sticking around and checking this thing out.